Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Today I have a special guest for you. It's Gabby Wallace from Go Natural English. She's been an English teacher online for a while, and today she's here to tell you about an English skill that you might be forgetting about. It's reading. How can reading help you improve your speaking skills? Let's see what she has to say. Hi, Gabby. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, Vanessa, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, this is a great chance for English learners just to have a chance to see two English teachers who they probably already know, but maybe can learn something more about.
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking with other English teachers like you. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, that's great. And I think this is a good chance for them to get to know some of the new things you've been working on. But before we get into that, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? How did you get into teaching English? What are you doing now? Tell us the details.
Sure. So my name is Gabby from Go Natural English, and Go Natural English came about several years ago when I was teaching English in Japan. So I had gotten my master's in teaching English, and I wanted some adventure. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to learn about another culture, and I got the opportunity to teach in Japan. And then I started making these YouTube videos, which became the Go Natural English channel and then the Go Natural English website, because I wanted to help English learners more. And I realized my students were really busy. They're also very independent and they wanted to learn more and more. And I thought, well, YouTube is a really great way to do that. And I know you have a great YouTube channel too. And I know that our learners are really happy to be able to learn in this kind of fresh, new way.
Yeah, it's just a
It's
great
not
way
like
to
text.
motivate
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, totally. So I'm trying to think, you can ask me anything, but in a nutshell, in a short story, that's basically who I am, what I'm doing, how Go Natural English came about.
Yeah, and it's great that through this passion that you've had, you've been able to fulfill what you want to do with your life too. You're helping other people fulfill their English passion, but it's also something positive for you. I think that shows a lot in your videos and the way that you present yourself.
Oh,
People
thank
know that
you.
that's positive.
Thank you. And if your viewers want to know more about my personal story, I have a TEDx talk that I did late last year that explains my journey and how, I wanted to travel and how I achieved the lifestyle where I can travel and work by myself. So if you search for TEDx, Gabby, Small Steps to Reach the World is the name of the title. So
Wonderful. I can even put that link in the description. People can check out more
yay.
about you. That's so awesome that you got a chance to give a TEDx talk and just go for it. I think a lot of people would feel nervous speaking in front of so many people, but you did it, told your
I did
story,
it. I'm still
success.
alive. Yeah, success.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And you've past that, you've continued making more English learning materials. And I know you've got something that it has just come out about a topic maybe English learners haven't thought about too much, but is so important.
Yeah.
And that's reading. Reading. Wow.
Reading.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about why should English learners be interested in reading?
Right. Well, I think, first of all, both of us have focused on speaking and listening skills because those can be the most challenging for English language learners who are at the intermediate level, trying to go to fluency, and being able to understand and speak fluently is really important for communication, everyday communication. So why reading? That's a really good question. I hesitated to do something on reading skills. Just recently, this is the first material that I've made about reading skills, but I was getting a lot of questions from my English learner audience about reading and about how to become more fluent in English. And reading is a skill that's going to help you to become more fluent because it helps your vocabulary, it helps your understanding of structure. And it just, when you can read in English, you have more to talk about in English.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's important for everyone. I mean, for professionals, for students, obviously, if you're going to take the TOEFL, the IELTS, or another English test, you have to be able to read. And I remember a lot of my students, when I was teaching in a university, the hardest part of the TOEFL or the IELTS was the reading part for them. So I wanted to make a resource to help English learners to read faster without the pain. I know it can be really painful to read when you try to read, but maybe you forget what you read, or it's hard to read for a long time. And to me, it's like exercise. You have to build up your stamina. You have to build up your strength little by little. So inside the ebook, I offer some tips about how to become a better reader. I mean, I'm sure if you've taken any English course, you can read, but the question is, how well are you reading, right? How fast, or how are you understanding, or can you remember what you read, or are you just looking at the words? There's a difference.
Yeah,
Right?
and are you actually remembering that vocabulary that you read so that you can use it in conversation? It's a
Yeah.
really great way to learn new vocabulary and remember it because you're seeing it. You're not just hearing it and getting the context. You have to focus on each word.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that reading skills, I mean, this is a book intended for English language learners, but so many of the strategies are good for native speakers too, to be honest, because it's a skill that you have to learn how to do. I mean, reading takes a lot of focus. You have to know like how to get the main idea, how to read for details. They're different skills.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I know recently I heard you were on a podcast talking about a book that you read, a nonfiction book talking about improving your mornings. I think that's what you were
Yeah.
talking about. And that's a great way English learners can learn English, but they can learn something else through English. It's not just the language. They're learning a huge topic that opens a new world for them.
I agree. I love that, both of us have this idea of learning English through other things, because it's not just about learning English for a test, or, you're not going to just stop. English is a lifelong skill that you can enjoy.
Yes,
So,
definitely. And I think it helps you to reach other people in other countries and not just simply understand what they're saying, but understand their personality through their writing, or show your own personality as you write and read different things. So it's
yeah.
all about, yeah, showing yourself in that language.
And what I love about reading more and more is that it gives you interesting things to talk about. A lot of English learners say, well, I can understand a lot, but I don't know what to say. Part of that might be because you need to, improve your fluency, but part of that might be maybe you just need something interesting to talk about. So, if you can read more news articles, or if you read more books, you can talk about that. Like, hey, have you read blah, blah, blah book? Have you read this book about improving your mornings? And it's a great way to make better conversations.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I think a lot of people feel shy. They don't know what to say. So this is going to give a context for things that you can talk about, whether it's reading about different movies or traveling or news. That's a great way to enrich your English conversations.
Definitely. And then it does help you speak and listen better. I think that reading, it's so important to read to enrich your vocabulary, and to practice those new phrases that you read. You can incorporate them into your conversations too.
Yes, yes. So far you mentioned it's great for improving your vocabulary, good for improving conversations. And
Yeah.
I know personally in my experience reading books in French, usually I just read books about the Harry Potter level, I mean, upper
Fun.
elementary level, but this was
Yeah.
amazing for improving my vocabulary and grammar. I think this really helped to see it not just in a textbook, but to see those little conversations in the book, to
Yeah.
understand how people actually use this, or maybe how they mix words in a different way that I didn't expect from
Yeah.
textbook learning before. But yeah, that's a great way to improve.
Absolutely. And it's something you can do anywhere. I mean, if you can read when you're on your way to work, if you're on the train, not when you're driving, please don't read when you're driving. But if you're on the train or a bus, or, you know, if you're traveling, you can read. You can, I don't know if you use a Kindle or another mobile kind of reader. It's great for travel. And audiobooks are great too. Audiobooks are a little different. You're not actually, you know, reading with your eyes, you're reading with your ears, but there's so much that you can do and so much you can learn from books and from reading. So
certainly.
to share like a quick story, I remember when I was teaching in a university, one of my students, he never really read much because it just wasn't something that a lot of people did where he was from. And then he discovered his joy of reading, this like passion for reading, when he was in the United States, because he had another teacher who was very passionate about reading, and he just fell in love. Like literally, you think about someone who's in love with another person. This is how he was feeling about books. And it was so beautiful to see that just in his eyes when he talked about books. And it sounds strange, but it's not. I mean, you can really fall in love with reading, and you can travel through books. You can have different experiences through books. You can find a mentor, like if you want to learn, you know, for example, everyone wants to learn about making money and investing. Well, you can read, well, actually right now I'm listening to an audiobook about Warren Buffett. So it's like you can have these people in your life, even though you might never meet Warren Buffett, you can, you know, meet these people through books.
Yeah, that's a great way to learn about their lives, their strategies, whether it's fiction, nonfiction. And I know you've mentioned books a couple times. I'm curious, do you think there's a best medium being type of reading material, like articles, blogs, magazines, books? Is there one you think is better for English learners? What's your opinion about that?
I would start with something short that is just fun and easy. And then each day, or maybe each week, depending on how much time you're devoting to your English studies, try to challenge yourself a little more. So maybe start out with like a news article from Voice of America News, voanews.com. And then maybe next week, look at a longer article. I mean, a more challenging article would be like a New York Times article. Those are very long. Those are actually challenging for a lot of native English speakers. They take some time to read. But try to read something that you're interested in. And if you want to challenge yourself, you could try reading something totally different than you normally read. Like for me, maybe reading something about, well, I like to read a you know, broad array of things, but maybe something in the sciences, because I'm usually reading about language and culture. And then, yeah, from there, after you're comfortable with reading articles, get a book that you enjoy, because books are a little longer. Obviously, it's going to take more time, more patience, more motivation. I think the worst thing you could do is try to read, you know, a huge book and then get frustrated and just forget about it and never open it again. So just little by little, make it easy, make it enjoyable. One tip that I want to share is, you know, set a timer maybe for 5 minutes starting out. And during those 5 minutes, just focus on reading. And then the next day, maybe set it for 6 minutes. And, you know, the next week, maybe 15 minutes. And maybe next month, you're reading it for half an hour at a time. So you develop your stamina, just like exercise.
Yeah, and you know that you've accomplished that goal for that day. And even if you just read one page, great, you focused on the skill that you're trying to improve. That's a great way to do it. Set a timer.
Yeah. Set a timer and just focus.
Yes.
And no social media for 5 minutes. Like focus on the book.
Yes. And it seems this method you're talking about, starting with something small and going to something larger, is similar to improving your listening or speaking skills. Instead of just watching Star Wars in English, you're gonna go back and watch short YouTube videos, then maybe TV shows, and then you can get to movies. So it's a good process.
Yes, I completely agree, because you want to have a win. You want to feel like you've accomplished something, just like you said. So you start with something small, you know you've done it, you've understood it, you've finished it.
Yeah, it feels good. And you actually have done something too, so you're more motivated to continue.
Yeah, no, I love those tips. on the same page.
Yes. Oh, this is a great expression for today. On the same page. Yes, we have the same mindset.
Yes, we agree.
Yes.
I love it.
And thanks for sharing all these reading tips. I think this is a good place to start, but I know you've got a lot more to share. Can you tell us a little bit about your new reading book? What's the name of it? What can English learners learn? I'll put the links in the description.
Oh, thank you so much. It's called Fast Forward Reading because the idea is to help you to read faster and get ahead in your reading skills. So you can find the ebook, and you can actually find all my products on the same page, gonaturallenglish.com/premiumgne. Or if that's, a difficult link, there's the link for the store on the website on gonaturallenglish.com. But yeah, it's an ebook right now, and shortly I'll be releasing the audio version. So if you want to read and listen along, that'll be an option as well.
Excellent. So they can learn all of these tips, more details, more resources about how to have fast forward reading with you.
Exactly. Yes, yes. And there's practice exercises so you can see how you're doing. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for making that resource and for having this interview conversation, just
Yeah,
giving
my
great tips
pleasure.
about reading.
My pleasure. It was really great talking with you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Oh, my pleasure. I hope we can talk again soon the next time, and
Sure.
see you later.
See you later, Vanessa.
Bye. Thanks so much for watching this interview with Gabby from Go Natural English. If you'd like to learn more with her, click on the link in the description below. And now I have a question for you. What kind of things do you like to read? Or what kind of things do you often read? Do you read news articles, books, magazines, maybe even comments on social media? What kind of things do you read? Let me know and I'll talk to you later. Bye! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to download my free ebook where you can learn 5 steps to becoming a confident English speaker. You can share it on Facebook, upgrade to the listening audio version, and don't forget to check your email to get the free ebook. Let's see what it is. Alright, here is the free ebook. You can download yours today. Just click on the link and it will be in your email within a few seconds. Thanks so much for learning with me. Bye!